I'm excited to be here today. I'm Don Crowther, and my job is to teach you how to increase the traffic to your site in 90 days or less by at least 25%. Anyone here interested in that? Okay, let's get started. Now, I have this issue. Those of you who've been around me for a while, who've ever heard me speak, know that I tend to speak really fast. And one of the reasons why is because I always want to give you so much content. I've got an hour and 15 minutes. I've got 3 hours of presentation. So I've got a choice. I can either talk really, really fast and give you 3 hours of content, or I can slow down and talk slowly and give you half that amount. Anyone got a choice? Okay, I'm talking fast, and so I encourage you to listen fast. I've got things on the slides. There's lots of words up there, so you can take the notes from that, or you can watch on the stompernet portal, okay? So let's get started so that we can talk about this. Now, as a person who is teaching you this subject, how to increase your traffic by 25% using social media, I don't really have time to start talking about the things like 5 of the top 10 Alexa sites are all social media sites. I don't have time to tell you that the social media sites get about the same number of page views as Google does. So if you look at the gold-colored line in the middle, if I can figure out how this thing works, that's Google's page views. This is Facebook. This is YouTube. As you can see, Google does not rule all. These social media sites get as much, if not more, traffic than Facebook does on a daily basis. I don't have time to tell you that 2/3 of the people who are on the internet are active in social media on a daily basis. I don't have time to tell you that 84.1% of everyone on the internet watched a video online last month, and most of them watched on average between 3 and 9. I don't have time to tell you that Facebook adds 600 to 750,000 new users every single day. How would you like to get 750,000 new customers every day? Wouldn't that be nice? And by the way, when I used this slide a year ago, this slide used to say 100 to 150,000 new users every day. Not a bad set of increase. I don't have time to tell you that if Facebook was a country, it would be the 8th most populous country in the world. I don't have time to tell you about a lot of things. And so what I'm going to do is I just wanted to give you that little overview to say social media is huge. It's still growing like crazy, and it's incredibly valuable. Now, I've had a number of people who've come to me and who've said virtually the same comment that was just made to me about 5 minutes ago, where he said, my problem with social media is that social media doesn't give me a good return on my time invested. What I'd like to do is I'd like to teach you how to get an incredible return on your social media investment. Is that all right with everybody? But before I do that, I want to spend just 1 minute and teach you how to get an incredible return on your investment coming to conferences. I'm going to teach you something here that is gold in my pocket, okay? All right, so I have 2 conference journals. I have this one. This is a $5.95 Barnes & Noble. I'm on volume 7, okay? I take all my notes for all conferences in this. I used to type them out on the computer, but what I found was I'm always dealing with power issues, and the problem is once you get done with putting it into the computer, you never look at it again. And so what I do is I take good notes in this, but that is not the important thing. It's what happens after that that's important. I never schedule an overnight flight, red eye or something like that, coming home from a conference. I always schedule a flight during a time when I am awake, because that is prime territory. Because I know the second I hit the office, I'm back embroiled in everything else, and I might never look at the notes again. And so what I do is I go through these notes, and I either highlight or put stars by everything that's important in it. And then, here's where the gold is. In this pocket, there's a little notebook. This little notebook has every action item that I decided to do from that one. Okay? This is the gold. Because so I'm sitting on the airplane, no one's talking to me, the phone's not ringing. There is no business that I can do during that time that's more important than the business that I just got out of. I paid a lot of money to come to that conference, even if I came there free, because I get comped to a lot of conferences. I still spend $1,000 in airfare and hotel and food and everything else like that. I'm going to get my money's worth out. And so I sit down and I go through this thing and I put down the notes, the action items that I took from that. And then this is my checklist for making money. It's a little moleskin, $6.95. And the beauty of it is, if you don't care, if your pockets bulge a little bit, you can keep it in your pocket. I recommend everyone does that. On your way home from this, even if you don't have a little moleskin, take out a piece of paper, write all those things up, and then go tomorrow to some place, buy your little moleskin, and then do it that way, or whatever your system is. The key is have a system that works. And then this goes with me other places, and I only take money-making notes in that notebook. And so I know at all times that that notebook can be turned to, and I can get new ideas on how to make money. Anybody got any value? Okay, all right. So here we go. There's a key thing that you need to understand, and that is people do business with people they trust. And so if you want to become an internet marketer or a marketer of any kind, whether you're selling a consulting service, you're a lawyer, whatever it is, if you want to get business, get trusted. And the very best way to get trusted comes from one of two ways. The first one is you can go out and get new customers. You can hit the web and start selling like crazy, and it's a pretty bad job. And you usually end up doing something with having to compete on price in that process. Or the other way is to make yourself the subject matter expert in whatever that area that is. Whether it's internet marketing or whether it is sofa sales, you want to become the go-to person that knows more about that area than anyone else. And what's important is you don't actually have to be the person that knows more about that than anyone else. You just have to have other people think that you're the person who gives them an answer to any question they ask. So that may mean that you just know where to turn to get the answer. The key is you don't necessarily have to be the expert. You just have to be the person that can answer every question they might have. Or better yet, have answered all the questions in advance. So when they come to you, they get the answers they're looking for. That's the key. And as you do so, you can ask any reasonable price. I do not have a single business that I participate in where I am the low-cost competitor. Every business I participate in, I am either the highest price or the second highest price competitor out there. Why? Because I refuse to participate in a business where I cannot be perceived as the expert in the category. So how do you get that? There's two ways, and only two ways to do it. The first one is public relations, and the second is social media. I'm not going to talk about public relations here. It's amazing for doing that, but social media is the tool to use right now. So I want you to imagine, as we talk about social media here for a moment, that I'm a single guy and I really want to get married. Okay? Now, I'm happily married, but just imagine this for just a moment. So I go out and I get myself a nice, beautiful ring. And I go, okay, this is perfect. Now I got to go find a girl to match my ring. Okay? So I put it in my pocket, and I'm a bit of a geek, so I go down to the local bar. And I walk around until I find the most beautiful girl there. And she looks like she could use a spouse. And so I come and I sit down next to her in the bench, and I pull out the ring and I say, "Would you like to be my wife?" What do you think her reaction is going to be? She's going to run away as fast as she possibly can. Why am I telling you this? Because a day never goes by in social media where someone doesn't ask me to marry them in the first time we meet. I cannot tell you what percentage of messages I get on the DM the first time they've ever talked to me in DM on Twitter where they're saying, "Hey, come buy my stuff. Here's the URL." I don't know you. I don't trust you. And now I really don't trust you because you're stupid. So if you want to develop any kind of relationship with me, you'd better develop a relationship with me, and then you can ask me to make a commitment with you. That, if you get that in your mind, you will succeed.